Cary Harrison here with you at the New Media Film Festival. And this is one of those fun moments where you get to talk to one of the founding fathers, really, of how we look at filmmaking today. And I'm talking, of course, about Roger Corman, who's standing right next to me. And the odd thing is, I know you. You've really never met me, but I know you because I grew up with every one of your films. This is what I know, good storytelling. In fact, you personally are one of the reasons I know about Edgar Allan Poe the way I know. This is huge, right? It was one thing to study it in 8th grade. It's another thing to watch your movies with Vincent Price, etc., and really understand what a creepy guy that guy was, but what good, clean fun.
It was more or less clean fun, and we came close to Poe.
Well, you really did, but you also gave us this sense of horror where we knew we weren't going to die at the end necessarily.
It was more of a psychological concept there. We were trying to sort of tease the audience along without showing that much overt blood. It was suggestion to draw the audience into the film and then hit them at the right moment.
And Roger Corman, you also really invented this idea of delivering movies fast and efficient. You're probably one of the only humans ever in Hollywood to finish a movie early and say, you know what, we have the setup. Let's make another movie. What have we got, 8 minutes?
That was The Raven. We finished one day early, and I had a script written, and my good friend who was sort of broke, Jack Nicholson, I said, Jack, come along. I've signed Boris Karloff for 2 days. We're going to shoot on these sets for 2 days. It'll be Boris and you. Then Boris goes back to England, and you're going to emerge as the star of the picture when I get the rest of the money to finish the film.
Wow. And let's talk about directors. You are in your panoply, your pantheon of superhero directors. You've given us Ron Howard, you've given us Martin Scorsese, then you've cameoed and appeared in things as well. You've got this long legacy that's really too hard for a lot of people to wrap their mind around. It's a long life of doing nothing but making people happy. And I'm saying that because I'm a customer.
They're all happy. I'm happy. We're delighted you're happy.
And here you are at the New Media Film Festival. So when you started your early years of storytelling, using black and white and other things, and here we are using this device to make a movie, an iPhone or an iPad or smaller or a GoPro, unimaginable, say, in 1957.
Well, this is new media, but new media has been with us forever. When man first learned to talk and to write, and when they invented the printing press, this was new media at that time. So we're simply continuing the tradition of new media, which constantly evolves.
Well, let's offer a treat to somebody watching. We've got probably close to 1 million people or greater right now. Gee, I want to be a great filmmaker. What's the secret? Is there a secret?
The secret is to have a little bit of talent, but then work tremendously hard. It is really hard work, and people think of it as glamorous, and to a certain extent it is, but it is really hard work.
Well, we're talking to Roger Corman. You are really the legacy founding father of how we actually do television, I think. I mean, much of the formats are based on what you successfully did, which is take a project, turn it around. You wrote a book about how to, make hundreds of Hollywood movies and never lose a penny.
I actually lost a couple of times, but that's all right. We can forget those.
What's your favorite of all your movies?
Well, I've been asked that. Maybe one of the Poe films, Mask of the Red Death or Pit and the Pendulum. I did a film called The Man with X-Ray Eyes, or maybe The Intruder, which was about racial integration in the South, which was totally different from the other films I've done.
I'll bet. And what a great way for you to work in things that are important to you, too. Things that maybe we're not allowed to talk about or we're not used to being talked about in public, but you get to work that stuff in, too, to bring in the entire audience and not just part of it.
Yes. I try to work on 2 levels. One is a level of an entertainment film. It's billed as an entertainment. The audience goes to see the entertainment, and hopefully there's some little thought of mine subtextually that some people might understand.
How did you come up with this idea of basically taking Henry Ford meets Cecil B. DeMille and cranking out so many films. I mean, if we go on IMDb or Wikipedia, it's going to take 4 or 5 hours, and you're going to run through 10 mouse batteries to finish your filmography. Who can do that stuff? I know you can't really answer that, but...
Well, one, I love the process of making films. I hope to never stop.
Well, I'm not going to say how old, but you've been on this planet a little bit, right?
I'm 88.
88. Yeah. So do we have another film in store?
Weirdly enough, I'm now making a couple of these films for the Syfy channel with these insane monsters. I think, what is it? It's Saturday night, August 2nd. Sharktopus versus Terracuda will play on the Syfy channel.
These are so popular. I can't tell you the grown-ups that I know that sit down, tune into the Syfy channel, and obsessively watch these things. They're Herculeanly, that's a great word, isn't it?
It's a great word.
Herculeanly popular, these Sharknado and these things.
Yeah.
So I imagine we're going to probably get a half a dozen out of you.
Yes, maybe more. Who knows? If you're unlucky, more.
So one quick final thing about Poe, because that really is kind of your signature thing. Why Edgar Allan Poe?
I think Poe was working in the 19th century much the way Freud was. They were both dealing with the unconscious mind. And I think part of the way you express horror is to tap the fears of the unconscious mind. And I thought Poe was maybe our greatest writer who was able to do that.
Yeah. I talked to John Aston. Many of us might remember him as Gomez Addams in the Addams Family, and he played Edgar Allan Poe on stage for a couple of years.
I didn't know that.
And he said it was life-changing to him. It gave him incredible insight into the human condition. I imagine it's given you insight too.
Yes, because the more I studied Poe, the more I learned about what he was doing, and I learned more about myself in the process.
Well, this is why we're here at the New Media Film Festival with Roger Corman. We got a chance to go beyond his hair and nails and who he's wearing tonight to find out that there is a vibrant, amazing human being, a creative artist in here who at 88 years old is going to be cranking out more films for us on the Syfy channel, a never-ending treat. I'm so glad you joined us tonight, and we're so glad we get to honor you. And thank you for coming out.
Very good. I'm happy to be here.
All right, my friend.